Brilliant, bro.
Welcome back to the Make It Mastermind podcast, and this week we've got another guest. We've got Manuel from Manwellness.
Hiya, you alright?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Yeah, we got this together in pretty short notice, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Sometimes it takes some right freaking backwards and forwards to get people in, but you were like, yeah, I
wanted to do it. Yeah, I've got a lot going on, but it's getting that word out, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, that's it. We was talking to you off mic beforehand, and you know what? There's a lot to get through in this podcast.
Yeah, I think
So to kick things off, do you want to give people a brief intro about yourself, where you're from, and what you've kind of been doing for the last 4 or 5 years, and what you're doing now as well?
Right, alright then. So yeah, Manuel. I come from a small town in Halifax. I used to work as a couple of businesses back then. I got senior last year, so yeah, I had to have a change of attitude, a change of plan, and went from there. And obviously we'll probably talk about that, won't we, as we get along. But yeah, I created something called Get Fit for Mental Health. Now it's a campaign. I use a back of the platform where I was a model. I've got quite a social media following now. So I decided to use that in more of a positive way instead of a negative way, instead of what people see, and tell people how it really is. And I'm quite open and honest. I suffer from a mental illness. I got diagnosed 2 years ago. It's emotional unstable borderline disorder. So I got taught how do I explain it's through neglect and abandonment, and obviously when you're younger it's how you're wired up, and I'm not, you know, it was a little bit different to other people's upbringing. So yeah, I suppose we'll talk about that as well.
Yeah, do you know what? Let's get right into that there. So, what age did you find out you had that, and how was that? How has the disorder affected your life?
Right. Okay. So, around 2 years ago, diagnosed. I'll go a bit back. I'll go back from a childhood, and then we can kind of understand it a little bit more. So yeah, I'm one of 6. I come from quite a large family in Halifax, and my dad left when I was 4. Apparently went to do his services in Spain, so never to be seen again. And my mum was an alcoholic. She had real struggles in her life, real struggles. She came from a big background of violence, and yeah, so there was that. I saw my mum have a lot of overdoses, and I was put into care quite often. And yeah, so that was, as I was a kid, I used to live with my uncles. I got violently beat, stabbed as a young'un. My mum really struggled with us, is in that care. I went into care. My mum put me in care once. I got abused in care. So it's kind of things what, yeah, I kind of understand it a little bit how I was as it got to adulthood. Then as I got into an adult, I kind of pulled myself away from all of that. I've been on my own since I was about 15, and then as I got into adulthood, I suffered. So that's obviously how I've been creating with my mental illness. I can understand that a little bit more. Mental health being affected is, I think the main one was when it started around 12 years ago. One of my best friends, my ex-wife's cousin, he hung himself, and I actually found him hanging. So that was a bit to deal with. And then a year later than that, my little brother at 23, he died suddenly. And then I was told my mum had 6 months to live the same day. My mum decided to tell me that when she was very upset. Tried to look, you know, so there was that.
Sounds like a very turbulent time.
Yeah, and then my little nephew passed away. He was 1 year old. And then, yeah, my mother passed away with a brain hemorrhage. So she kind of gave up in regards to, you know, losing my brother kind of a thing. So yeah, I think that's, and then obviously the downward spiral from there is dealing with them. So I didn't really deal with it quite well, and I never had that place to look up to as how to have a family. So I kind of made it up myself, which were really, you know, you get it wrong quite a lot. So when I did have that family, I couldn't really cope with it. I didn't really know how to have it. So yeah, was divorced. Got divorced, didn't see my children for 8 years on and off. But you know, just probably through my personal battle with what I was going through. But I never helped myself in regards to what I was going through. So all of them, what had happened, all the things what had happened, all the trauma and tragedies that had happened. I dealt with it by drinking and going out and taking drugs, which just obviously, that's when everything escalated a lot worse rather than dealing with it if I knew now what I knew then, you know, if I, well, should I say what I know now. So yeah, really, so that's kind of the thing, that's kind of my background in mental health and mental illness, and that's where, you know, I've come out of this side now. But this, you know, this is what I've had to do about it. I kind of went to, so when I got diagnosed, yeah, because I was just constantly in failed relationships all the time, neediness, must have been a nightmare, and just dealt with it, you know, not so great, and I kind of probably put that in relationships as well, which I kind of understand. And so I kind of went to, go on.
And do you know at the time, did you know like why that was happening?
I was very unaware of it. I thought I was a perfect, good child. I felt sorry for myself all the time. You know, a good person. I felt sorry for myself, like why me all the time, and never looked at actually what it was. There was no such. I never had any idea it was a mental illness. I even understood mental health. It wasn't spoke about, and it definitely wasn't spoken about in the town where I'm from. You know, we're all lads. We all drink. We all go to the pub. We all have a bit of a sniff, we all do this when it gets a little bit tough, not realising the effects what we're having on other people around us. So yeah, so that was kind of my that was the kind of the starting point of where it all went. But obviously you can understand within probably around 20 years, and then well, I'm 38 now, so there was a childhood and then getting to adulthood and kind of a bit of a car crash all the way through.
But do you know what, that's a big problem that a lot of people are dealing with. You see in the news, you hear a lot of people talking about it, is especially for men, is when they get to around the age of 35, 37, when they realise, okay, what am I actually doing with my life, and they realise that a lot of time is being wasted in fueling bad habits, which at the time they don't know they are, fair enough, but...
Definitely, I totally get that. I mean, I get that, and luckily I've got to 38 and like my life started again, so I feel like I've got a lot of time, I've got a lot of, you know, I went to therapy, private therapy. I learned a lot about myself and counselling in regards to who I was and understanding the trauma, what had happened. Because what I did, I used to just take it all in and just have it there, have it all there, not actually deal with it. So any problem or any situation, obviously, can you imagine dealing with anything when you've got all of that in your head, and the grief and the regrets, the guilt and everything else? I just couldn't do it, and then so it created big problems. Or I'd go and just, you know, make a solution by going out and not dealing with it, which obviously you've got to deal with it all. I mean, I'll tell you a story, which is it's quite sad, but it's true. And my mother had just passed away, and I went to Zante because I was supposed to be going to Zante for my 30th birthday. So when I was going to when I went there, I kind of cracked because I was strong. I was quite strong without through it all, you know, through the death of my brother and everything else, and I did together, tried having it together. And that was the final thing, what happened with my mother, and I went to Zante, and I just remember drinking a pint of shots as soon as I got there, and I grabbed my Coke in one, and then that was it, that was me then, and then I was constantly drunk, and there was another pint of shots. How I didn't really care about if I died or not, that was my way of numbing, but the easy way out in regards to, I didn't really want to put a rope around my neck because of what had happened with my friend, and I saw all of that with everybody, you know, all the trauma it caused everybody else, so there was a guilt there if I did that, but if I did it this way, then maybe it doesn't really care. I didn't really care, and then it was forgetting about everything, shutting it off, and it wasn't the reality, so I was in this other world, and then I couldn't deal with reality when I got back, and that's where it all went downhill from there, really. I really struggled with it. So anyway, so I went to a house party, and because I didn't go home, and I stayed up for 7 days, 7 full days at house, night and day all the way through, 7 full days, and I looked like a skeleton when I came out. I had nowhere to go, I had no one to, because I'd been away and I blocked everybody out. And the only place I had to go was the last place I saw my mum, on a bed, a deathbed, and she died there, and I was, you know, on there when she died, and I had to get in that bed and try sleep in that bed after 7 days. Can you imagine that come down? And that was all of my own creating because I'm not dealing with it. So, you know, it's the things that we do to ourselves as well, you know, when by not dealing with it, and it's crazy, it's crazy.
So what, go on James, after you.
I was just going to say, do you feel like when people suppress that sort of, all those thoughts, is that the most dangerous thing you can do? Is
I think
suppress it?
Yeah, 100%, because that, another thing in regards to which I didn't explain then about what this journey, so after my friend and then obviously in adulthood, and me on this continuously. And I wouldn't say I drunk every day, okay? I wouldn't say I needed cocaine in a day. I wasn't like that, but it was when I went out and as soon as I drank that drink, I could spend thousands of pounds in gambling just because it took that away. I could and create a whole world of problems because that wasn't my money. I had to, I had, and the drugs and staying up in regards to it. But I used to have a groups, some certain people who I used to go around with, and slowly but surely they'd commit suicide. We were close friends. A guy who worked for me, he committed suicide 2 years ago. Another guy, I got two guys this year. Two of my friends committed suicide. A young boy, 19, his mum, best mate's committed suicide. So that's 3 this year, 2 last year, another 3 before that. And they're all really close. And I've been in that lifestyle. I've been there. I was with them. I understood them. I got it. But it was not doing. It was suppressing everything, but just keep doing it repetitively. So never actually dealing with it. So, I always see it as like tomorrow's another day. If I've been in that situation loads of times, bear in mind 3-4 days, and then the reality kicks in, and that's it. That come down on a Monday or a Tuesday. It's so scary, and your mind just plays so much on you. But then I always talk to myself just to get through that next day because I'll be all right. My mind will just think a little bit different, and I was relieved when I woke up that second day. That day when I woke up and I didn't feel like that, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of back. I'm back. But then I do it the week after, or I do it the week after. So if you imagine that people keep doing that, then there's only so much. You're not thinking in the right manner because you're obviously
ups and downs.
Ups and downs, and then you might get, because of what you're doing, maybe you are upsetting somebody. So you may not pick your child up because you're dealing with that. You might have let somebody down really important to you, and that guilt kicks into you then, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. And then it's like you feel like you don't want to be around, good for somebody else or good for people around you, and you're just hurting it. So that's initially that thing in their head maybe before they actually do something, and instead of getting through that overdoing it, it's so like, oh, I wish it could have been there, I wish you'd have talked to me. But I think people do kind of talk, but they don't. Some people don't understand what to do, in the lifestyle, because life, I feel it's we have, everyone has problems, everyone has grief. It's life, but people are struggling to deal with life because there's other ways out and not dealing with it or not talking about it, especially men. Men do not talk about it because there's so much pressure on men. We've got to act a certain way, talk a certain way, and there's so much pressure on us in regards to with his families, and you don't want people to know you've got to act that way,
Yeah, do you know what, I was just thinking when you said that as well, that me and Julian are really close, but even we wouldn't really talk about stuff like that, would we? You don't really sit down and say, oh yeah, I feel a bit shit, or even we don't. And if we do this podcast, we talk about stuff like this, stuff that is so deep, so personal to people, and we hear it, nearly on a weekly basis now.
Of course.
To actually flip it and be like, oh, we would never really have those conversations. If you actually take that out there into the city and be like, how many lads are out on call lane? None of these lads are talking about that shit.
No.
And that's what's actually pretty fucking scary.
Well, it is scary, and that's why I created this Get Fit for Mental Health. And wow, I can just say wow, how it's changing things. And if I could just get that everywhere, and I'll tell you a little bit about it when you want to tell me.
Yeah.
So when I created that, I'm so I'm so passionate about it.
I can tell by the way you're talking about it.
So I was on a plane and I thought, right, I knew that was the last time I was going to drink, right? And I knew that was the last time, because I feel if people say I'm going to do that, I've said it all the time, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it, or I might say I'm going to do that and then I don't stick to it in regards to it. After the accident, after everything, there was only a few decisions I had to go. It was that way or that way, and I thought if I stay that way, I'm never going to look back. So I had to set some goals for myself. Now, no drinking, no drugs, no smoking, no red meat, no pork. There was no reason for the meat and red pork. It was just one of them goals. I've kind of heard a few little things, but there was just little goals where I thought, right, if I'm going to stick to them, and even if it's eating a little bit of pepperoni on a pizza, there's no point in me doing what I'm doing, because if I can't even do these simple steps, how can I even, move forward? Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's only one drink, but it's okay, what does that one drink lead to? I don't begrudge anybody drinking whatsoever at all, each to their own. I just know that was my downfall, and it didn't help me in my situations for life. Maybe, just maybe, if I'd have understood a little bit more and educated a little bit more, but it wasn't around back then. There wasn't this, this awareness, and it's kind of, it's kind of so real and it's true, and you can see it everywhere. Even it dates back and back, and I speak to so many other people. I know I'm going on a little bit of a tangent, but I do.
No.
So I kind of understand it all, but if I knew, like I say, if I knew then. So, what was the initial question what I had, because I'm lost?
That's a good question.
Yeah. All right, get fit for mental health.
Get fit for mental health.
Yeah. So I had this initial thing, right? So my initial thing was, because of the model background, the social media, the influence and what I was doing, I met a lot of people at events, a lot of decent people as well. So I thought, if I could go up and down the country and get and train and challenge myself, right? If it's doing a fireman's before the train, an army routine, the navy, stuff as that. I'm not from there. I'm not done anything like that. I bought a professional boxing routine before he goes into a fight, and MMA fighters before he goes into a fight. Speak with celebrities and train with them and get their perspective on mental health and how they deal with it. Now they don't have to have a mental issue, but I feel everybody's been affected in mental health in some shape, way or form. You know, it affects them if it's a bad job, if it's struggling in a job, in a relationship,
overeating,
anything. Okay, so there's some, you know, it affects in some kind of way. All right, so. And I just wanted their perspective of it, and if I could speak to them people as well and do a message, challenge myself and show other people that they can do it, right? So it's kind of you can rather than you can't, because I've been one of them. I said I can't carry on, I can't do it, and I know in my head I've got to do it. Something's like it's so I was doing that, and then also so I started to do that was the initial idea, and then I started to do something with Luke Amberler, Andy's Man Club, who created Andy's Man Club.
Yeah.
He's kind of a good friend, and said, "Oh, why we're going to do this Scammington steps. It's like 500 steps, and I just want to get fit. He had a few goals I had to do, and yeah, I'll jump on that. I'll do that. I'm in Manchester now, but how can we do that?" So he had his own personal reasons, and I suppose everyone else does have their personal reasons. That then I thought, yeah, I want to get fit. I want to do this. You know, it's a part of what I want to do. So when I was doing it, I thought, how great would this be? You know, because it's a challenge where you don't think you will get up them steps because it's 500 of them. It's not. It's really difficult. So I'm getting up in the morning as well. I thought, oh God, that'd be great. That, you know, so you're breaking that norm by getting up on a Sunday morning. You are challenging yourself, something you probably think you wouldn't do. And then once you've done that, you've got them endorphins going. You've done something, and then you're also meeting people like myself who struggles in mental health, or who have struggled in mental health. I thought, right, I'm gonna like invite a few people to this who I know who struggle. So I did and do that, and then we were getting it going, and there was like people with bipolar, people with autism, people who get bullied, people who are big, small, people who want to, for their own reasons, people with schizophrenia, and people who just want to get off the sesh, people who want to improve their lives. They're all there for basically the end reason is to improve their life or mental health. So anyway, it's built, and you can imagine that it's a movement that actually, we're not sat down and saying this is what we're going to do, we're going to set goals. It's not daunting going into a big group, but you're actually, people who come, they're actually just doing something, training, but you're also speaking and everybody else is doing it, so it's like a team bonding, so you can do it. When you get trying them steps a bit like life, you can't get up, and you can, there's no way down, you've got to go forward, keep getting up them steps, and when you've got up, you feel an achievement. But then also, gets you interacting with other people, and it's a team bonding kind of thing. So when we've done all that, people are openly just talking about why they're there and what they're doing, and they feel good then because they've got all of that out, and it's like they've done that, and then why are you here? All right, this is. So everyone else is basically it's the same common goal where they're there, right? So it's they're improving the mental health. So then we go for a coffee and a butty, and everybody's. I've seen people, right? The people who come now. So there's so many different people, but parents have rang all. They're on the last legs. They've been on a bridge, ready to jump off a bridge. They've been talked off a bridge. They've tried committing suicide, or really bad struggles. And to see their faces when they first started, and to see them now, they're doing their own talking on social media and speaking out, and I'm so proud. It's like, and everyone's just like a family. And then other people. So I'm brutally honest on social media, which I talk about my past, me, how I am in a relationship, how I affected people, and my mental health. So that initially gets other people talking and other talking, but then we're doing something about it. We can do something about how does this go? I've probably dealt with 60-70% of my life experiences already. So I kind of relate to a lot of people. And then if I don't, we work with, I've got other charities on board now, drug and alcohol abuse, charities, and we push them towards them and advise them towards them, and we get great advice and we get great people on board. So it kind of works alongside.
Like a family, doesn't it?
It's a great, honestly, and everybody. I mean, I even struggle. I mean, look, I struggle, but I kind of, instead of going down like that, I'm like that. Instead of going up, down, I'm there. I'm like that. We can't ever flatline it, but if we can just get through life like that, it's a lot easier to deal with.
Yeah, I don't think life is ever just
Life
It never is.
I always say like life's a bit like you take it like the stock market, like it goes up, it goes down, but as long as you've got an upward trend, that's
And understand it, you've got to know yourself and understand that there's so many other people in your situation, but you know, and tomorrow's another day, and you can always, if there's improvements there, there's people there, you know, it's it's just like, so with this Get Fit for Mental Health now, we're getting people. I'm going to get someone in Australia. We're going to do it in Australia. Preston, a doctor in Brighton, loved it. Wants to do it and run it down there. And it's all kind of Preston, at Islington. So it's slowly everyone's wanting to do it. We've got the BBC coming out to film on Sunday. So I'm hoping that's going to show up, because until you come, we've had quite a few personalities come as well. You know, and. When you look at it, it doesn't look like it looks when you're just looking at it on a phone or something. But when you actually get there, you see people's faces, you feel it, you're doing it, and and you understand it then. And then people who come, they've got to come all the time, because it's a family, it's something they need, something that they're supported by. It's a support group, because you've got people all similar, so we all keep in contact within the week. Tell people what's good about themselves, rather than what's tell them what's good about their lives rather than what's wrong about their life, because you'll find it's genuinely a lot better. If you point out what's actually good in their lives and who they are as a person, you will people need to hear that. People need to support in regards to it. And unfortunately, NHS struggling out there. When I got diagnosed with my mental illness, I felt great. I was like, oh wow, I know what it is. That's it. That's why I failed it. That's why I've done that. That's all of this. And then I just got some leaflets for suicide. I'm like, you're going to go on a waiting list for a year now. I'm like, all right, 2 years later, still no sign. But antidepressants, went on antidepressants and stuff. But I've been on antidepressants up and down all my life. You feel. I felt a little bit bad for relying on antidepressants, that I wasn't me. Until I got out, when I weaned myself out of them, I wasn't silly enough to go, right, that's it, I'm going to stop taking them, because I've done that before and it all went wrong. Right. So I weaned myself off them, but I had to be real with myself, and real with myself is, look, because when I knew I had this mental illness, I still was doing the habits, right? It held me in my head in regards to that, I've got a mental illness, I understand it now, that's it. Right, what are you going to do about it? Do you know how you're going to feel good still? You still got a mental illness and you still do the same things. You're still going out when it gets a bit too much drinking. And because you're on antidepressants, you think you can have that gram of coke and you'll be feeling alright. You think you can drink that many beers and you'll be alright. And no. So, I had to stop that. I had to be real with myself and honest with myself. And then since I did that, I could actually cope. I could cope with what I was doing. I felt real, I felt myself. And it was a massive weight off me. And I channeled all my addictive personalities in regards to what I do, in regards to drugs, gambling, anything that I did. Even sex addictions, I just thought I needed that because of attention. I needed attention. You know how many broken hearts I've left out there. But I was, it wasn't that. I felt that I needed someone to tell me to be good to me. I needed to feel like that, and it's crazy.
And you know what? I feel like with what you've just said, I think it's something that's kind of driven through culture as well.
100%.
Like you say, yes, there's a lot of awareness out there on mental health, but there's also a lot of content that kind of forces that kind of behaviour, making men think.
Of course, I get that now. Do you know what I get now? This is crazy, right? So when I start this journey, a lot of my family don't talk to me. A lot of my friends, they don't speak to me. I had to pull myself away from the circle that I was in. There was no way. Once you're in that circle around it, you surround yourself with negative people who do the same things. You are going to do that. There's no way about it. It's so difficult not to. Absolutely. You've got to pull yourself out of it, fill your world with positive people who are doing something positive with lives which don't involve the negative stuff. I don't really need to say, we all know what that is. And since and that's a massive part to play of moving forward and getting out of it, because now, like I said, I go back to my hometown and I get people going, oh yeah, they're kind of embarrassed to say that I'm doing really well, but don't care what people say about you doing really well. I'm like, do I really care? Do you get that message to say they've saved a life or you're helping them? Do you when it really matters? Does they matter? No. I've got like probably about 300 on my social media. The other 15,000 is like supporting what we do. So I don't really care. And you know, I've got some. I've met since I've been on this path, this journey. I've met so many positive people. The group, we're a family. Today we've just trained. There was a guy who got bipolar, doing really well. First time he's been to a gym in 10 years. He's been vlogging every day. His exercise was very overweight, really struggled. First time in 10 years, it was a guy who got his leg amputated last year. Doing really well. He was at the gym and got a guy with schizophrenia. Doesn't like going in an environment with other people. Did a buddy day. You know, people who don't, struggle to get to the gym, who don't want to go on their own, but don't have anyone else to go with or don't feel comfortable in going. We did a buddy day and it worked out brilliant. Everyone's like, I don't want to do this. Listen, we're going to be alright. Let's just get through it. That's what we've got to do. We'll get through it. And we got it, we made it fun, and then everyone's there, we're having some food after, and like, hey, yeah, I feel great, I'm ready now, I'm ready for the weekend, if we could do this on every weekend, I wouldn't want to do that, and I wouldn't want to do this, so, yeah, there's just loads of things what we're doing, and it's, it's all positive, and it's all, productive.
Good for the community as well.
Oh, yeah, but that's what I'm saying in regards to who you surround yourself and speak to. You guys were just saying then about, I wouldn't tell you about that. I've got some really good friends now. I've got really, I could cry sometimes. I'm so proud of to call them my friends because they're doing so well and we talk, we're open and honest and talk. They might not, they kind of coming from other groups and say, I don't want to do that and really struggle to go there, But if I can do this and I can express myself in exercise, because it doesn't matter what form of exercise, except it's like what I'm doing. It's not really about that.
It's not about the exercise.
It's not. It's about the mindset. Changing that mindset of just actually. There's another part I get for mental health just to try mix it up a little bit, changing that mindset. So I do like cold shower challenge in the morning and get people doing that, and I get other people, celebrities and stuff, and getting a cold shower. It's not really. It's not. There's a load of good benefits to it, but that's not really why I did it, in regards to depression and everything else. It was about if you can change that mindset. If you're lying in bed, depressed and you don't want to get out, well, you're not going to get a cold shower, right? It's the last thing you're going to think about it. Just do it. Just do it. Get that cold shower. Bye. It's not nice. I had to do it. I was doing it for 2 weeks to show everybody. But when I did it, I was like, if I could do that, I can get through my day. Or get up at 3 o'clock and do a 3-mile run. Now, who does that, right? But the hardest thing in that was getting up at 3 in the morning. And then once I'd done it, I was like, it's done. And that's what a challenge is. I'd get up and go in and swim out to the end of the pier, 7 in the morning. Now, I didn't quite make it all the way to the end of it, which I can't really think, but I tried it, it's changing the mindset. If we can do things like that by changing the mindset, look, we can do anything, all right?
How important is it to have goals around mental health? Because we've actually had conversations about this, and it came off the back of Tyson Fury's podcast on Joe Rogan, and he was like, if I didn't have a goal, I'd probably be dead now. I think it's very, very important. I think it's very important to set yourself little goals. In regards to and big goals, and them little goals because it's a sense of achievement. You need to do something in regards to that. If I have a bad day, right, or we don't say a bad day anymore, or it's a struggling day, a challenging day, right? Then what do? Do you know what? This is how I cope with it. I'll strip myself away. I'll have a way with myself, and then I've got to set myself goals. I set myself goals, tomorrow's another day, and then I set myself some goals, right, I'm going to do this tomorrow, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this week, I'm going to have a good day at work, I'm going to get up at this certain time, I'm going to, them goals, and you feel a sense of achievement then. You feel like you're not as hard on yourself because you've done that, and you've done this, and you've done that, and then obviously I've got long-term goals and short-term goals, which I think is very important. Now, I was kind of a little bit lost in my goals because I knew what I wanted to do, but where was that final thing? And I feel like I think I had this discussion today with the group, and we've always got to push forward. It's always, people are never content in just stopping and that's it, And
that's when the trouble starts happening.
Yeah, of course. And I'm going down there. I think it was my leg. And I think setting them goals, and it could be anything in regards to you doing something with your children and learning about something and stuff. It's just giving that mind a sense of achievement that you're doing something, but you need something to reach for, because if you don't have anything to reach for, where are you going? Where are you going? You need to just set them out in regards to what you're doing, where you are. Because I've had that this week in regards to where what's this final stage? Where do I want this to go? And then it's all right. I wanted this. Get fit for mental health. I want the doctors to say, "Have you tried that? This is it's real. You know, it's a natural antidepressant, right? With it being anything, you know, this is what I do all the challenges with maybe Olympians and you know anything kind of different one. What people might think I might like that or do that. Do you know? But yeah. Where were we there? We get carried away now.
I wanted, one thing I did want to ask you was,
Yeah.
obviously speaking to you now, off mic, on mic, you seem like a very comfortable in your skin now.
Yeah.
And how you talk about your experience and your feelings and the way you view the world.
Yeah.
How does that compare from 10, 15 years ago when...
Do you know what? I never even knew who I was. I did not have a clue who I was, where I was, what person I was supposed to be, what job I wanted to do. I never liked particularly anything. I didn't even have a favourite colour. I know it sounds mad. I didn't have a favourite food. I just couldn't. It was just I got given what I had to give. What I got given, and I had to deal with whatever I had to deal with. And so I wasn't really particular. I didn't know who I was or couldn't find myself. You know, I was so confused. There was so many confusions what I used to go in my head. I used to battle myself every day and struggle every single day. No one knew that. I'd go out there and I was the face. I was funny. I always make people laugh because it made me feel like I was important. I got bullied at school to death. So bullied it was untrue. We called Manwell, for goodness sake. Manwell in the 1980s when Fawlty Towers were around. It was a programme there. Slapped on head. Got a funny name. Not people had a different name back then. So growing up in the 80s, it was difficult. And I was very small. I had big buck teeth. I could fit a pound coin through them. My brother was a very good-looking boy, and he played football, and he was good at everything. And it was cocky at school. No one messed about with him. And I was little brother who was very weird and didn't have any friends. Just got bullied. But my mum just moved everywhere. She didn't settle because she couldn't settle, so we went to around 10 different schools. So as soon as that I kind of just got settled in and just dealt with them bullies, we'd move again and then we'd start all over again. So and I never quite finished school in regards to was in care, in and out of care. So yeah, I really struggled. So never knew who I was. I used to go around with that other odd friend, who didn't have any friends, and it was mad. And then when I got to around 15 at school, I went to a different school away from my brother, and I kind of fell and finding myself and comedy. I made people laugh. That I was kind of accepted then. I was kind of got into my own little thing. I wasn't known as anything else, but I was like funny or play pranks, and it was like I'd get expelled for pulling a moonie on camera, and everyone laughed at me. So I thought it was good, and that drove me. Kind of went into my adult life, but I still didn't know who I was. That wasn't me. Because I go home and that's all gone, that attention. I'm I'm on my own again now, and no one understands me. Or if we're in a relationship, I'd be all this smiling, look at my girlfriends or whoever I was with. I'd have to get drunk for me to be nice, or coked up. They were like, "I love you like this." Not that I love you like, I just that you're so nice, because that'd let my barriers down, and speak and talk in a nice way, instead of I've got to do this and not let nobody in and stuff like that. And no one were getting in, and people thought I was tough and everything else. I've created this because I got a lot as growing up from my uncles and being very violent and stuff. So we had that. I come from a big family where
reputation,
big reputation, yeah. So we couldn't be like that. We could never be honest and stuff. And I'm like, so yeah. So from the difference from then to growing up, I've kinda in relationships as well. If you don't know who you are or don't even love yourself, how are you supposed to love somebody else? How are you supposed to love anyone else? And you expect people to love you who you are. They don't even know you are because you're a different person every day.
Yeah.
So I kind of understand that. And since I stopped everything in regards to hiding behind drugs, alcohol, open up about my mental illness, I feel free. I feel me. I feel like accepted because the people who I surround myself with accept me. And I realise that so many people are like that, and it's normal. There's no such thing as normal, but it's accepted. And there's so many people like myself in regards to it. I feel there's so many people, and so many people are in denial as well. I could talk to somebody and they'd be like, "Nothing wrong with me, mate, nothing wrong with me." And you have that conversation a little bit how you feel and what situations you've been in, and they're like, "Oh, do you know something? I've been like that," and they start talking, and you feel that person may have so much you want to talk about, but I tell you another one. This were only the other day, and I work with a good friend, right? Big guy, really muscly guy. No one would call him. No one would think, oh, I never thought of him. And I got a call. No, I got a few missed calls off him. And he never just ring me straight away like that. And anyway, we tried calling him. I called him back and I said, "You all right, Winnie? I'm all right." I said, "What are you doing?" He says, "Oh, I'm just going to go to the gym." And I could tell there was something like in his voice, you know, and want yourself. And I'm like, "Why you rang me like three or four times?" I'm like, "Are you lonely?" And he just went, "Yeah, I am." I had to ask him that because I didn't. I went, "Yeah, I am." I went, "What's up?" He went, "I don't know. I really don't know. I've never felt like this. It's not me. This. Not me. This." I went, "Everything all right with your relationship?" He went, "Yeah." All right, okay. So we were going to the gym. I went, "Right, give me a call after the gym." He went to the gym. He did 2.5 hours in the gym. For goodness sake. So it came out all right. He's probably tired. So spoke to him the day after, and what went on last night? I'm all, I don't know. I don't know what come up with me. But I'm all right now. I said, "You still like a bit of push, you know, like you know, you did that, but you felt all right when you got to the gym." "Oh no, stop that. It's a weakness, isn't it? It's a weakness is actually telling people I don't want no one to know it like that." And it just ain't nail life for me. Do you know what I mean? That's why people don't talk, because they don't want to show weakness. I never want to show weakness, and that's how I battled on for so many years, because I wouldn't want to do that. I'd hide myself in something else.
But the reality of it, within personally, you could actually empower someone else.
Oh God, I feel like if I could talk if I was so open on and say I get so now, social media's blown a bit. Since I've been doing these talks, I get people like women and men, okay, but generally men, okay, open up. So if I get so many great stories from what we've done, you know. But say if I get, say, 20, 30 men a week, say if I do that, right, and speak up and honest about myself, and they can speak up and honest about themselves. So if another, say, 10 or 20 of me was like that, yeah? It wouldn't be that bad to talk, would it? The thing level he talks about, I'll talk, I can talk, but it's talking and there's doing something about it as well. But you know, there's levels, but you need to open up, and it's all right. You know, I know this is good to talk, and there's people are sick of these things, but you know, people need to talk. Men need to talk. People, it's not, you know, like that is from me. You would never think from me that you know that I had that, and a lot of people contact me because it's like, my brother's like you, my son's like you, but he but he doesn't know what to do. This is what he does. This is how he covers it. Right? I know instantly what. There's people in my group who are at stages where I was, and you can see it, but you can see him growing as well. You can see him growing, but initially, you just got to talk, man. You just got to talk, like us. We're talking here, you know, and finding, you know, you don't have to. There's so many other places you can talk. There's so many things you can do, you know. It's not embarrassing. There's so like you'll find that there's so many people, if they were just honest about themselves, that are the same as you. Simple as.
Yeah, do you know what? You're so good at speaking. I've had to like block this question in my mind because I really want to ask you. Because you were mentioning that you didn't know who you were when you were younger.
Yeah.
So my question is, looking back now as you've like developed and grown and you've got a different perspective on it.
Yeah.
What influenced you to be whatever you were?
Right, okay.
Like what
influences me to what I was, right?
Yeah, because influencers get such a big thing, like, oh, I'm an influencer of this, So it's so prevalent in society.
I've done that. I've been an influencer, but it was just I didn't even know what an influencer was, right? In social media. Bullshit. Sorry.
You can swear as well.
Oh, right,
really well. You've done 40 minutes, no swearing.
all right. So I'm going to kick off now. Right. Do you know what? My past, not to be that person and not to make them mistakes. I was hurting every day, and I don't hurt anymore. And if I could show people another way of what I did this for. Well, I've done this all my life, right? Obviously, I class it as I've done it 20 years because I understood the 20 years. You know, I had control over it in that 20 years, right? So, like, so one person, like a guy, they might not see the child, right? That's enough for them to commit suicide. They don't know any other way. I built a thick skin. There's so many other things, right? It's made me stronger. It's made me how I am. People don't think, oh, I don't do anything for sympathy. No, it's made me who I am. I am stronger now, right? I may have been through a tough time, but I was through a tough time from a kid, so I've had to get used to it. That's me. But there's somebody else, like people do. Well, why is he doing that? Why is he? You know, he had the world at his feet, right? Just because he had his world, if that problem to them was that problem to them. You know, they don't know another way of speaking because we don't talk. You know, instead we go to a pub and talk about it, or go to a pub, and I'm like, I've done it all. Gone to a pub, I've been raped. We're sharing problems where people don't understand it because they're making the same mistakes as. How are you ever going to get anywhere? So, like for instance, so that problem to them, and I can see me like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, that person, and how I messed up. How I just took them wrong paths instead. If I like read people like that, say, look, this is the way, that's not the way, you know, and change things. Because I never had that. No one, there was nothing like that. I never had people say, go back to your family or to your family. Some people don't have family, right? Yeah. Some people have mental health drives them away from their family. You know, everybody's different. But I feel like if they saw somebody like myself, and I could help that, you know, empower that person to move forward and to be stronger and to do other things in regards to, because initially it's not me, right, it's them, but you've got to put belief in them people that they can do it, because anybody can do it, and that's the general thing. Because I always say, people say, thank you so much, you say, like, no, I haven't done it. Oh, you were the one who reached out, you the one who knew you had a problem, you the one who came to me. I'm just telling you what I know of what the mistakes I've made, and I'm just telling you that you can do it, we all can do it, and I believe in you, because no one believed in me, everyone, and still to this day everyone expects me to get back on a session or to do that, like, so it empowers me, because no one believes in you. But I don't have, like, you know, and people need people to believe, and people need to talk to somebody like myself, like you guys, like, you know, how I did it right there, you know. And I look at me, I talk for England now, can't I?
That's it. Do you know, you hit the nail on the head, really. That's kind of really to give you a background on us, because you've given us a lot about you. We set up the podcast in a way to say, have conversations that helped us as younger kids, like when we were growing up, trying to work stuff out. Like, if you can hear something from people, because you're super relatable, because you're quite a cool looking guy.
Yeah, man.
So that helps a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it does help, it does play a part.
Like, I reckon, I think so, yeah, you just don't think, do you? You don't.
Exactly, and the same for us, like, we're just two average lads that you'd see in any bar in Leeds.
Yeah.
So for us to go and talk about stuff, hopefully people are like, oh, actually maybe we can talk about that.
But that's it. Right. It is great. It is alright. Be you. Just be you. It's alright. I know, like we said earlier about cliches. So many cliches, but be you. Anyone, like, you can do it. Anyone can do it. There's so many things you can say, but initially, look, be you. Be yourself. It's alright. Everybody struggles. People think they're not allowed to struggle, but everybody struggles. And just saying it's alright to struggle. It's alright not to, it's okay not to be okay. It's alright. It's alright. Look, it's alright to be like. It's alright to feel like that.
Yeah.
Do you know, that's it. Don't be ashamed. No one be ashamed of how you feel, because you feel that. You feel that. That's what, you know. And that, I got said that to me, my counsellor, in regards to about the mistakes. So, like, look, just because you feel like that and these mistakes, that's how you actually feel, right? There's another way of obviously dealing with it, because you actually believe that. There's no wrong with that, but maybe, you know, there's another way. But, you know, just because you're not the wrong person to feel something in your head or to think something in your head, that's how you feel. You don't know another way. But there is other ways, and you connect, you put it out there, you talk and understand other people as well, and other people's situation. Kind of light bulb moments, then, aren't there? That's what happened to me, like, oh my God, like my relationships. Just because because I was physically violent, okay, maybe not physically violent in a relationship, because I was mentally abusive, never knew it was. I mean, my insecurities, and I'm like, and made that person feel bad. But I'm like, said I'm controlling and manipulating, and they were like, right, okay, so just because you tell them what to wear, but from your background of how you are, this is you trying to control your life now, because you had no control when you was younger. So what you're doing that, and you don't know you're doing it. And it kind of made sense of, like, yeah, do you know what? And if I knew it, I could do something about it, and I could change it instantly. It made me feel better, because I didn't know how I was affecting other people around me, and how I was. I didn't know about this before I even got diagnosed with a mental illness. You know, it was crazy. And then it's like, and I just want to learn and learn, because if I know about myself, and I think the thing is know yourself. And you can do something about yourself. I think that's a massive part. If you don't know yourself, you're supposed to ever fix yourself or make yourself better or make it easy. You just don't. Yeah, you expect other people to, or you expect that bottle to, or you know.
But that's it. But once you get into that rabbit hole, it's so deep. You've got to doing what you're doing now for helping yourself.
Yeah, helping myself. Yeah, initially, it's do you know what? Initially, the thing is, I'm not like saying it's easy to do that. That's the thing. It's easy for me. Like people like think it's easy for you. Like, look, do you know what? Like, I would just constantly give up, constantly self-doubt myself. I still self-doubt myself now. But if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be human. Do you know? I've got to believe in, but I've got to put all the positives and then focuses and then people who I've helped so far and that, you know, and then calls and then messages and I'm like, do you know what? Yeah, you, and I'll get that and I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, that's it. And it drives me. But you know, for somebody else in regards to it, you know, it's difficult. It is difficult just to make that first move to speak to somebody. I understand there's so many processes it's got to go, but the first part of it is just, you know, knowing that you're not alone, knowing that you know, you're not on your own, and that there is people out there, knowing there's another way out, and then actually when you speak to it, there's another leap to get at, to do something about it. But that obviously the initial thing is to admit to yourself, be yourself, and not care. It's, like you say, it's just being in the environment, the social, and social. You know, social media. It has a massive part of all we're supposed to look like, what we're supposed to look like, what we're supposed to talk, and you know, I've been there as well. So
yeah. Do you know what are your thoughts on that? With like now, I'm more than before. Now I'm seeing more with the positive side of social media. You know, like with what you're doing.
Yeah.
People we've had on the show.
Yeah. Well, this is a big thing. What I'm trying to do as well at the moment in regards to. Someone said to me in regards to social media, right, a lot of people say, right, well, you shouldn't use it, you should be doing this and you should be doing that. Now, I disagree a little bit, right, about that, because it's like social media is only going to get bigger and it's only going to get more in depth, right? Yeah. So why don't we use it in a different way? Why don't we try use it in different ways? Why don't we try be real on it? Why don't we try use it as a positive role? Why don't we just be ourselves? And if we didn't actually be somebody else or want to look for them likes or look for them, because I've done it, I've been there. I might have heart failure if I didn't get that likes. I'd delete that post, you know. I went into modelling and I went to these events and stuff, and I was kind of working with a lot of people, with influencers. And it was, I'm allowed to swear now, bullshit. And that's what just spared me on. I might as well live that fake ass life in Halifax where I'm from instead of living that life. Whoa, I'm living this fake life again all of a sudden. I'm trying to, because I want to, because I feel that, because I thought, I was inspired by it. I wanted to look like these certain people. I wanted to be there. I wanted to look what their lives were like. I thought it was great. Oh, that's the dream. That's where you want to be. And once you've made it, when you get there, you're like, fuck me, is this it? And everyone's so many insecurities and so, you know, no money and it's a hard life, you know. They have so many struggles what you just don't see, and exactly that's what just spurred me on to be like, do you know what, I look pretty good on a photo, right? I can look pretty good, yeah, but I strip it all away and I wake up in the morning, I've got grey beard, I've got grey, I've got back teeth missing, I'm receding, I've got alopecia, you know, like no one sees that, but I know it's like when as soon as I started being real, I just did it one morning and looked, you know what, this is big. Well, like some people might call it like, you know, Britney Spears had that breakdown with the hair shape, like what's going on with him and that. But I got so much more love. I got 10 times much more. I got so much more love for me being real, and I was accepted then, and that was me, and that was my journey. That was the start of it, and that's when I could talk to more people. You are going to get negatives all the time, but then positive make up for it a million times.
No, but I mean, it definitely sounds like you're doing something special. And what have you got planned for the rest of the year? Have you got anything?
Oh yeah, so we've got some big stuff coming up. I'm really excited about it. I can't say about a few guests, because they need to help. I get told by Jim God a lot. They work with us because their message is believe in yourself. So I kind of work with only positive brands now, right? Where I'd work for anybody just to get my name out there. But you know, you can't have, you know, gangsters and violence, everything else is what I'm trying to do and stuff. So I try to just do something positive, you know, and work with positive people. But where I'm going to go? So yeah, so he said, well, I just get excited about I'm going to be working with and everything else and like that. And I just don't say it because it doesn't happen, but I couldn't help it. But luckily enough, it always did. I'll put it out to the universe. But we're doing something with the fire brigade down in Portsmouth, so we're going to do a challenge down there before, because there's a massive thing in mental health there, alright? There's a massive thing, and there's a lot of things, right? So we're doing something with them. We're going to do a challenge, not entirely on the numbers, but vision pole, uniform on, getting that like road ready. It's difficult and doing that fitness challenge before they go out there, but there's a lot of things in place with there, which we're going to talk about as well. So I always get a message there. Eddie Hall, got a yolo play. Yeah, we're on him. We've got a picture saying he's in. I'm like, yes. And there's a few big things, but that I can't really go into it because it's big. I mean, like Hollywood. I'm on about Hollywood stars, right?
Yeah.
This is how big it's going to be. Hollywood stars going to be doing something in September.
No, that's big.
Right. So, but not just that. Normal. We've worked with Tom Sinetti. We've done the same. We've talked about social anxiety. You wouldn't think it would, yeah. You've got to get social anxiety. It's that message. 12-year-old. Right. When I just done this thing, it wasn't out then. And my next 12-year-old get bullied at school. Really worried about him. Talk about suicide. Now, what way would a child to think, right? To talk or even. And he come to me with like, Tom Sinetti, well, yeah, just done some things with him. He went, he don't get down right. I went, of course he does. Everyone goes, no way. I went, yeah. He struggles to talk to people. Social anxiety. Like, wow. Just talk, people look up to him. I like to. You never think that, and he's a bloody good lad. What people don't see is honestly what a gentleman he is, and he's proper behind it. Darren Tetler doesn't suffer from mental illness, but he talks a lot about the only fight is yourself, which is very true. The message is out there, isn't there? So I like to get a message off everybody. So yeah, I've got quite an Auntie Nelly. She's a massive social media thing now, and 1.5 million followers on Facebook, and doing a lot of things with her and getting it out there. And she's being really supportive. She's an agony aunt and broke down with that. So she's a really good friend. You meet so many good people, when you're doing this. So yeah, I've got so many challenges to come. I like to do a challenge myself challenge with some kind of influencer, some kind of message, and put myself through it every week or a couple of weeks, and then challenge myself to some kind of swim. I think I've got a 100k run in July. I know that's ridiculous, right?
100k run?
100k run. 30th of July, 40th of July.
It's like a double marathon.
Oh,
triple marathon.
What? I know what? I mean, what do these things?
Who roped you into that?
I can tell who Campbell is on this journey as well. He's on a journey of his own journey to get fit, and anything. I'm that competitive now. I've got to do it. Because I've always been told I can't do it. I won't be able to do that. I'll never do this. Just drive me now. I'm like, I can do anything. I'll do that. I'm not going to feel great at the end of it, but while doing it, but it's like anything, you never do. But once you've done it, it's a massive.
Yeah.
I did that. Yeah. I did it. And that's to showing other people that they can do it. They can do anything. Anyone can do anything. If they see me, I get messages like of brands, clothing brands, right? Wanting me to go, how much do you charge? I would love to work with you. And by the way, you inspire me in my personal life. And I'm like, wow. Do you know, that's it. You get people see me doing that, and they might be in bed and think, well, if he can do all that, I can just get up. I might be able to get up in the morning, I can just do that. And you should be very surprised how many people it hits like that. Maybe a little guilt inside, maybe, because you feel like, you're doing all of this, and you suffer yourself. You can do it. So it's getting that out to everybody else. So. So I want to open down the country, this Get Fit for Mental Health. I want all the towns, and it to be, I want the stigma to go, I want that minority to be, it's like race, or, it's like, what? Where have you been? Where have you been there? Do you know what I mean? It's acceptable. I want it to be just acceptable, cool. I'm not going to say cool, but like, it's acceptable for us to be like that.
No, that's an island.
Yeah, and it's not like, because I get from my own town, mental health, everyone's got mental health. Why is this thing called mental health? People don't want to talk about it, they'll call it brain, they make another name up for it, but at the end of the day, that's what it's called, right? That's what it is, right? Yeah. So what, this is what I'm saying, there's a difference, isn't there, with mental health and mental illnesses, and there's a different, there's so much with it, but there's this massive stigma. Look, we're all affected in some part of our lives, and some people deal with it better than others, and some people have the support, and some people don't. Everyone's different, and everyone struggles in their own way, so why pick anybody out, right? Wow. So, yeah. You're
right, it's this collective group, it's everyone's responsibilities, and it's like on the internet, it's like using social media for a positive, like the internet is really just everyone's collective consciousness in a fucking hard drive. That's all it is. So what you put in there is what goes out to everyone. Like, if we put out a podcast and we're like, anyone with mental health is just fucking soft, get over it.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Like we're just putting out.
Well, I know, but this is. I mean, I get that. Yeah, I get this a lot with other people, but a lot of people don't obviously say it to my face, but they see that, don't they? So, no,
you're quite a big lad.
No, but it's the thing is right. A lot of people do say that, right? But then, or they put things down. I did a poster the other day, right? If you don't understand it, right, just leave it, keep it to yourself, or even better, try educate yourself a little bit more before you start opening that mouth of yours. It's as simple as that. It's easy just to type some of what you don't understand, because that's what necessarily happens, doesn't it? Yeah. Or if you're putting somebody down, you're not dealing with something in your own life, so maybe deal with that first, because why would you want to hurt somebody or make someone feel bad about themselves? Because you're obviously not happy in some shape, way or form. There's something down that line. I am sure of it. I'm not saying it's a fact, but from my experience, it usually
no one wants to be angry at someone else.
No, well, why? What's the point?
To someone they don't really know.
Exactly. When you narrow it all down, you break it all up, you're thinking, right, there's only one person, who's got a problem here, and that's that person who's got to put, it's you. Do you know what I mean? It's you. I don't want to tell you it's you, but, work it out for yourself. There's definitely something there. You may have been had some struggles yourself. You may actually, relate a lot, but you don't want to admit that. Maybe I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. There is, it's awful, and it's awful because certain people don't realise the effects they have on other people. It's like in my town of Halifax. People are like, right, this hasn't been that many suicides. That isn't like coming like every week, right? It's like a cult. It must be something everyone's copying everyone. Why would somebody want to copy someone? End of the day, they're that low. For whatever reason, they're that low. That's how they felt. Doesn't matter what's happened, right? They felt the need. They didn't want to carry on in this life anymore, right? Yeah. So, and that's a tragedy, and like, so people, someone needs to stop. And then as soon as you do want to do something positive, everyone's like, who the hell does he think he is? Who is he? What they do? And you're like, it put people. Like I said to you before, when I went out, people were there. Well, I went out in my small town, and people were like, oh yeah, I think it's really great. I don't care what other people say. And I just thought, do you know what? That's exactly what. And you got other people like, oh, amazing, and then you got other people who just totally embarrassed, because you may have that one person who struggles, but you might have a group of people around him, and they might say a negative comment, and then it's, well, you've got to go with that, because you don't want to be the one that stands out. Well, I actually like it. I actually agree with it. That's how it works. Social pressures, man. Yeah. So.
It's the real thing.
Nah, boom. Well, thanks for coming on, man. It's already topped over an hour.
Yeah.
People want to find you. They want to check your page. They want to find out more about what you're doing. Join the movement.
I love it, man. Yeah. So I've got on Instagram, it's Manwellness. It's great, that, isn't it? Manwellness. My name's Manwell. It's Manwellness. I can't believe it we're there. Facebook, Get Fit for Mental Health, got a page there, and on there's a lot of my videos on YouTube, Get Fit for Mental Health there as well. So yeah, anyone who wants to find and see what we do, and see what we're going to be doing for the future, see how we work, yeah, get on it, mate. Get on it. You're definitely not going to regret it. It's crazy. I get so much love, and especially if you do suffer it in silence, and you want to see other people, or how it works, how we work. It's it's pretty inspiring for yourself. There's so many other things, and that can motivate you, that could help you, or you can speak to, you can understand it. You'll understand a little bit more once you get on. It's difficult to say, but yeah, thanks guys.
Thanks for coming on, and really appreciate the work that you're doing as well, man.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, like can you see the vision? Can you see it? Yeah. As long as I've got that through, that's all.
I've got to say as well, you probably one guest you've had the most fucking energy out of any fucking guest.
You know what? I was almost asleep. I've been about about 2 hours, but this when I start talking about it, that's it. You're talking my jam then. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
All right, man.
Thanks a lot.
Man. Take care.